Welcome to this look at the third map in the Wompsville, New York map pack. With me, MrSealyp. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Wompsville, New York. This is the third of 3 map tours. Now, I've been accused of all sorts of stuff on part 1. They are 3 separate maps. They look completely different, and I'll be honest with you, this is the one that's confused me most. I found more perplexing because there's a situation where it's either an evolution of the area from forestry to cleared of forestry to then ready for agriculture, or they are 3 completely independent maps. If they're 3 completely independent maps, 3 separate map tours. If it is an evolution, then I probably could have got away maybe with one, but the problem is they don't look the same at all. Nothing's the same. So I've had to do them separately. But that is the way it is, unfortunately. Now, we are on the DIY edition. This is NPC Storyline 2. So I did 3, 1, 2. It's like a Star Wars list of films. You know, the way it starts on 4, 5, 6 and goes backwards. We've done it like that. So, this one says, the loggers have left and now the land is yours to shape from scratch. No forest to clear, no fields required to be maintained, just pure creative freedom. Design roads, neighbourhoods, farmlands exactly how you see fit. Will you build the ultimate farming empire, plant some forests, or make a city just to maintain yards and roleplay? So I would urge you to watch either the first one or the second one that I've done already. The first one I did was the Homestead edition, which had all the farmland and stuff on it. The second one I did was the Forestry edition one, because there's a lot of information I'm not going to go over again on this one. So I would urge you to watch one of those. If this is something that piques your interest, that's absolutely fine, but there are custom NPCs with custom speech and stuff. One of them, Kenneth, his speech on the things that he talks about is different per map, which lends to the argument that it's an evolution of the same area, and that's what I can't reconcile. Especially now I'm on the third map, I can't reconcile that this is an evolution of the same area because it's nothing alike. Anyway, we have additional crop types that have been put in as well, and we've got some stuff under the build mode that's been put in too. So this is 567.99 megabyte download for the 3 map options by DTAPGAMING and StarSpangledModz. On New Farmer, the slot count is 780. On Farm Management Start from Scratch, that comes down to 709, difference being you don't start with any of the start equipment or machinery. And again, to reiterate, on each of these 3 maps, the start equipment and machinery is different on each map. So it's not even, you don't even start with the same stuff. That's why I've done 3 separate mod reviews. Anyway, I'll do it in this one. So the additional crop types put in, we have got, as we come down to the bottom here, we've got North American tallgrass, alfalfa, clover, rye, triticale, millet, spelt, mustard, lavender, poppy, buckwheat, lentils, and flax. All of those are put into the ground, all bar lavender. They are all put into the ground using a regular seeder. Lavender goes into the ground using a planter. We take them out of the ground. If we come into here and go to our vehicles and machinery, we take them out of the ground. They can all be harvested. They all have a price and a value. Some of the crops can be used as catch crops and can be cultivated in. Some of them obviously can be used for baling. They can be turned into hay, depending on what you've got. And some can be used for animal feed as well. So they're all taken out of the ground using a regular harvester, apart from obviously grass and stuff which can be mowed and can be tedded, can be turned into hay, can be silaged as well. Now, if we come down to here, under mods and DLCs, we have got a minor 49 a bucket, 49,000 to buy, 49,000 litres. And these 2 have been put in so you can harvest your lavender. So the lavender is able to be harvested. They will do cotton and they will do lavender as well. So they've been added in over and above. The slot count is higher than I said because I've leased a vehicle to go around the map because it'd be quicker and easier to whiz across using that. So this is the only one of the 3 maps that actually has the smeltery on the map. The other 2 have it available, so you can go into the build mode and find it and you can place one. This actually has it on the map, which the other 2 versions didn't have. So you can do coil, sheet metal, iron pipes and iron spikes. Now these things are all usable in custom constructables. So there are constructible buildings that require additional things, including coil, sheet metal, iron pipes, iron spikes, but also if we go up to here, this glass me about my glass, where you can make glass panes for your windows, and to get your sand you use a stone crusher down here, it does stone to sand. Now these extra ones, again, I'd urge you to come in. If you can have a look, you're going to find them anyway. But we've got additional recipes under bakery, additional under cereal factory, grain mill, additional flour types that can be done, oil mill, we've got different ones in there with poppy oil and lavender essential oils, buckwheat oil. Down the bottom I thought was quite interesting was the wood treatment oil, which is rye oil. So some extra bits and bobs have been thrown in under that as well with all the various different crops. So you can either just sell your crops or you can go on for an onward production if you want to. And some of those things can then be used for building products for the custom buildings. I'm going to quickly go into build mode. We have got some stuff under sheds. We have got some stuff under silos added in, including a silo there. That silo, enclosed bunker silo, you can do your grass silage as usual, chaff silage, hay silage, but you can also do alfalfa silage, and you can do, was it clover silage? There were a couple of extra ones you can throw in there as well, and you run it as a production. Actually, what I could do, do I own enough land to put one of these down? There we go, let's put it there. So at least I better show you that in a moment. I know I'm rattling through this bit, but like I say, yeah, it's what it is. I'm just trying to do them as individual map tours, but getting some grief for doing it. So, remove NPCs. This is big. If people don't like NPCs on maps, and I've said this for a long time, why are they not removable? They have managed to do it on here. So they're custom ones and the standard ones. If you look on the map, there are a lot of NPCs. We've got a load here. We've got some knocking around, but they're all over the place. We've got one down in that corner, one up in that corner. If you come to this sign here, you can top left remove or bring back the NPCs from the map. So we'll do that and go back to the map. You'll notice all the ones there have gone, the one there's gone. So you can take the NPCs off if you don't want them at all, which is big. It's a big thing. Now the other thing to talk about is the map. So as you can see, nothing like the first map tour, nothing like the second map tour. I could have even understood it if the stone quarry and the iron quarries were in the same locations. If they were in the same locations on all three maps, I could have kind of probably gone with it, but that's the bit that's kind of thrown me massively. Now, like I say, it's weird because part of the information is inferring that it's an evolution of the same area, but then when you actually come down to this, it doesn't show that, because this whole built-up area, if we went from forestry to this, then onto the farming one, I just don't get that bit. But anyway, plot prices aren't too bad on this one. Even cheaper than the previous two versions, because you're buying these plots to then make the map into whatever you want. So not too expensive at all. We can buy some of these plots in here as well if you want to add stuff in. But then we have got a couple of plots here, that one there and that one there, which belong to a couple of the NPCs. One is Katie, one is Walter, which allow you to have constructible buildings for those as well. Actually, I need to put those back, bring back the NPCs. Right, directly in front of me, again, on the second map tour, we had a roller coaster, but not on the first map tour. And it's in a different location to where it was on the previous map tour. But the curious thing with the roller coaster build is you have to buy the land first, which is 750,000. When you do that, then you get the icon come up for building the roller coaster if you want to do the roller coaster. Of course, that is always your choice. So the roller coaster is there if you want to. Turn around just here. We've got Preserved Food Factory. I'm just going to get hit by a car. Water tower there. Preserved Food Factory, slightly smaller one. I didn't go for the rest of the build mode, did I? Sorry. Did silos and then got sidetracked, didn't I? Silo extensions, we didn't have anything. Constructibles we do, that's what I was talking about. So these custom ones here for NPCs and the player. Containers, we got a couple here, including the museum for the collectibles. Tools, we've got fuel pump. Farmhouses, we've got a farmhouse. Come down to factories, that's where you find all the various different factories available, including smaller versions of some of them. So grain mill, sawmill, bakery. If you want to add more of them in, you can. Oil mill, cereal factory, compact glass forge, and then the glass me about my glass. And then we've got compact smeltery and stone crusher, and then we've got the smeltery, like I say, this is the only version of this map that's had that actually on the map in the first place. But they are all here. There was nothing under sell points. There was nothing under greenhouses or anything else on there. Animals, we had a cow barn that's available. That is on the first map tour I did, but technically the third map. I really made a complete mess of doing this the wrong way around, the wrong order. I thought it would make more sense to do the one with all the farming on first, but that hasn't actually worked out to be the best option. Anyway, load of decorative items down in here if you want to put some decorative items on. And then if we come across to our plants, there are some additional textures. North American tall grass, we've got some mixed meadow grass there, and then a forestry mix in there too. That's all of that under build mode. So so preserved food factory is just here. We come across to this point here, and this is the same on all of the 3 maps so far. This is the vehicle shop. The details there, but the actual building itself isn't. So I assume the maps will get updated. Fuel pump, electric charge point there. Repair and repaint workshop trigger is just over there. This is the reset point for the map, as you can see just here. Across the way, just that building there is the oil mill. Start the engine. And then we've got the first of our NPCs. Now, again, on the first 2 map tours I've done, I actually stopped and we had a bit of a chat to each of the custom NPCs to get a feel for what they talk about and stuff like that. We're not going to do that on this one. Again, I would urge you to go and watch some others. But the detail on this is cool. I said this on both the other map tours. I like that screen with the lizard incorporated. This is a sell point for selling everything. And Briggs is here for a conversation if you want, or Lemmy, or whatever you want to refer to him as. Definitely looks like Lemmy. So you can bring everything here for a sell point. You can have a chat with him. I'll leave that as more of an exciting adventure to find out what he's got to talk about. If we come out of there, we come down to our start farm on New Farmer. But again, farm management start from scratch. You won't have the equipment. Because this is a do-it-yourself, build-it-your-own, there are no sheds. You've got no sheds, no buildings here over the vehicles and machinery and equipment. We do have a construction point here, so you can build your own farmhouse if you want to do that. That's on the plot already. But we've got a couple of tractors over this side. And again, like I say, the range of equipment is different, completely different to the other 2 maps. Plough and seeder, another tractor over here. This is the one I added in. You don't start with that there. I put that there. I'll show you that in just a moment. Again, if you didn't see the other 2, it makes sense to show it on here. We've got stuff for doing poplars, so rather than the forage wagon, you've got that attachment. Then you put the poplar head on the front, trailer on there, bale trailer, windrower, mower, and baler, all just there. And this is a workshop. We've had one of these, or at least one of these, on each of the maps. And this is a custom workshop building with some interesting animations and storage for horse brushes, spray cans, and this one doesn't have any on because there's no forestry to do because it's all been cleared, but that's for putting your chainsaws on, 8 of if you want, and then 2 workshop trigger icons just there, repair and repaint. So come out of this building here, we'll go around, I'll show you this, let's say, because there isn't one of these on the map already, just to give you an indication of what you can do in this particular bunker silo. So I click on that. So alfalfa silage, which just gives you silage. That one gives you alfalfa silage specifically. Chaff silage. Then you've got clover silage, or clover silage which does just silage. So you are getting different types there. And then we've got a grass silage one there. So that does a mixture of various different items coming out, which are different to, obviously, the base game. So let's go and grab our vehicle. Let's say this will be hopefully substantially faster than the previous one because I'm not fighting my way through a forest. There's not as much to show. And as you've seen from the map, everything is just completely open. Now, someone commented on the first video to say you can't cut the grass. I tried it on this one. The grass did cut on this one, no problem at all. I don't know if they mean mown grass. Somebody also said the map's been removed from the mod hub. I came out, I uninstalled the map, and then went back on. It was still there, so I reinstalled it. So I'm not sure what's happening, where people are getting their information from, but it seems to still be there. So if we come to the map again, you'll see all the various NPCs. So we've got this one here. Please work. We've got David, who we're used to. He'll do his usual script. Lisa's new. Have a chat to her. She's a bit bonkers, but she's lovely. We've got Noah, who we know already. We've got Katie, just there. Over here, we've got Ben, and then over here we've got Walter. So those guys we already know. You can buy their plots and you can chat to them. But if you've removed the NPCs, that's not relevant at that point. We come across the way here, like I said, with these plots of land. For Katie and for Walter, we have got constructions here. So when you buy their land, you can build their houses for them if you want. But there are placeable options, as I've already shown you in the build mode. So if you want to put them down for other NPCs, you can, but you don't have to. That's entirely up to you. Come across the way here, we've got the grain mill. And there's the smeltery. just there. And what we're going to do is we're going to quickly whiz out to this corner of the map. So right down the southeast, there's a massive stone quarry down here. And at stone quarry we've got Chuck. Chuck believes there are subterranean lizard people. Honestly, I'm not joking. You can have a chat to him. Whoa! You can have a chat to him, and he will tell you all about it. But if you buy the plots down here, and this should be, they're usually in separate sections. They have been all the other ones, so you can buy these and do a bit at a time. So you haven't got to do the whole thing in one go. But massive amount of stone here. So if you want to turn your stone to sand, or if you're going to put in a lime station and you want to do your own lime, you can. But Chuck's there for a conversation if you want to talk to him. We're going to whiz right back up to the middle again because I'm going to do the rest of the town, if you want to call it that. Now, it is sparse, and I've said many times on map tours that I'm not a big fan of stuff that's just plonked down. You know, when you've got a map and you've just got an open space and you've got a very generic production just plonked. But the reason it's been done on this map like this is because this is a build-it-yourself map. That's the whole point about it. Adding in all the decoration, all the stuff around it, trees and foliage, and that's for you to do. So that's why it's left open. If this was a complete map, this is good to go, ready to play on, it wasn't designed to be a build your own, then it'd be a bit kind of, oh, it's a bit sparse, but it's supposed to be like this. Animal dealer is just here. There's that animal dealer. With our museum building behind, that's a 2-floor building with a lift inside it. You can go into the lift and you can go up and down the floors. So as you find the collectibles. Again, I haven't found a single collectible on all 3 map tours I've done so far. But you can, they should appear in that building. I'm assuming that's what that's for. That building over there is the stone crusher. This one here is the glass pane building. So that's the glass factory just there. Bakery just here. Cereal factory over the back, the big building there. Sawmill just here to our right, with big old radio mast just there. Then we come to the warehouse, pallet purchase point. Have you referred to it? I don't know what the traffic's mucking around. Tristan is here, one of the NPCs, but Tristan doesn't talk. He's not a talkative gentleman. But there's our water tower with our water point just there. So our stuff will come out here for the warehouse. If we open the doors here, and the thing with this being as well, if we come back this way, if you don't want to do the productions to get the stuff to do construction, you can buy iron spikes, you can buy the metal sheet, iron pipes, the glass panes, and there's all the other bits and bobs you can do: mustard, ketchup, vegetable oil, wood treatment oil, poppy seed oil, mustard oil. There's a whole load. You can come in and buy all the various different bits and bobs over and above standard in-game things as well. So that's your pallet purchase warehouse point just there. What we're going to do is come across. We will quickly talk to Walter, because like I say, I've done not Walter, Kenneth, because Kenneth is very specific to each map, and that's what makes me think about that evolution of the area, because he talks about that. That's what he's sort of been discussing. So he's just above the stone factory, which is where he was on the first, well, the second map tour, but the first map. And he dreamed of having his own cow farm. Well, he's still at the stone factory, but the stone factory is in a completely different place. Anyway.
You wouldn't believe the number of machines they brought in to clear this land. Whole lot of steel, whole lot of horsepower. Ripped out every last tree, stump, and root. Back in my day, we did this kind of work by hand. Nowadays, giant machines roll in, and in a few weeks, bam! Bare land, ready for someone like you to come in and build something from scratch.
There you go. So he's talking about what happened from the previous version to this version, but also giving you an indication of what's expected of you on the map, what you're supposed to be doing. And his speech and stuff has been different on all of the maps. All the others are pretty generic, but I think his changes. Sorry. Now, if we come to the map, you'll see on New Farmer. I didn't show. Did I show you what we started with? We start with the little bit of farm here. Did I buy that? I didn't buy that, did I? Did I accidentally buy that? Might have done. I think I did, didn't I? We start with these plots across here, which are all clear. There's nothing on them, but you can cut the grass, so I suppose there's a lot of grass on there. And we start with this plot here. So this plot, 19. Now that is a poplar field. On all 3 of the maps, I don't know, I'm assuming the map makers have got a bit of a penchant for for poplar, because it's had poplar on all three. There's a big old poplar field down there. It's the only field on this version of the map. If you don't want to do poplars, you can get rid of them. And also with the quarries, I think I said it on the first map tour, and if I did on the second one, it does say in the description, if you don't want to do any of the work with stone or using any of the iron ore and stuff like that, you can just landscape over it if you want to, if you don't want to do that. So this field here, that's all poplar, and you own it. So once you've done your poplar harvest, you can crack on. Did I say contracts are available? We have got contracts available, but there's no field, so it's not field work. It is rock removal, wood transport, and you might get some of the well, you won't get dead tree ones, will you? Because there's no trees. No, you won't, will you? So there'll be no deadwood ones at the moment. And then what we're going to do is we're going to whiz right across the map to the northwest corner. And on the northwest corner, we've got the final NPC. Whoa. And this is where all the ore quarry, the iron quarry is, or iron pile. So Burkle is over here, and Burkle loves his ore. So if you decide you want to have a chat with him, you can, but again, if NPCs aren't your jam, just remove them. Not a problem. So we can come over here, we can have a chat to him, and again, with this plot down the bottom here, sorry, down the bottom, up the top, we can buy it in smaller sections. If we don't want to buy the whole lot in one go, we can buy a section, and then we can just take the stuff from it, but you'll need to buy it to be able to do that. And as you can see from here, there's a fair amount of it. Plenty to be getting on with. And in all honesty, that's it. That's the map. This is 100% a DIY. It's designed for you to do what you want on. This stuff in the middle, you know, you can have a fiddle around. As I always, the advice I always give, if you're going to change anything, remove anything, delete anything, landscape anything, save your game first. Just to absolutely make sure nothing goes wrong and everything is as it should be, and you should be absolutely fine. But there you go. That's map 3 of 3, and I'm referring to it as a map pack because as far as I'm concerned, it is a map pack. Wompsville, New York by DTAPGAMING and StarSpangledModz. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you choose to do. Thanks for watching.